Hey guys, it's Katie, and this is our course on healing. So, why do we teach the heal command? It's very important for many reasons. The few number one reasons are when dealing with leash pulling, reactivity, chasing prey, it's really important to give your dog a job to do instead of doing those things. A lot of people make the mistake of just telling their dog, no, don't do this thing that I don't want you to do. But in reality, for that to really stick and for your dog to make progress and be successful with stopping that, we have to give them an alternative behavior to do instead. Dogs do not do well when we just say, no, don't do that. They do best when we say, don't do this instead. It gives them very clear expectations of what we want out of them so that they're not kind of guessing, trying to figure out what we want. It's also helpful when you're going to smaller or tighter spaces. Pretty much everyone is going to go to the vet with their dog at some point, and it can be really snug in that lobby. If you ever take them to pet-friendly stores, they can be really tight in there, especially with other people walking around with their dogs. It's important that your dog is not pulling at the end of the leash. Most likely you're going to get reactivity or even worse then. It's also helpful if you ever go to markets with your dog. They can be very, very busy, like farmers markets in the summer. So it's best to keep them by your side at a heel during that. The last thing is if you live in an apartment or you go to the city a lot, it's definitely tighter spaces. Cars, bikes, things like that are all over the place. So it's really important that your dog can stay by your side and can focus on you rather than getting distracted by all of the scary things happening around them. The most important reason why we teach healing is it's literally the number one easiest and most effective way to stop leash pulling for good. There's a lot of ways to attempt to stop leash pulling. We have found that teaching the heel is the absolute most successful way to do that. So you're going to need a few things for training. One, you're going to need a treat pouch because we're going to be doing a lot of rewarding and reinforcing commands. You're going to need food. I recommend having a low value option like your dog's food that they eat for dinner or breakfast, so kibble, and then a higher value option like freeze dried treats. Our favorite are freeze dried raw dog food because it's still completely balanced and it's actually going to make them healthier the more you use it instead of kibble because freeze dried is so nutrient dense for dogs. So all good things happen when you use that. You are also going to need a collar for your dog. To start out, we're just going to use a regular collar because we're going to be practicing around no distractions. So there should be very little to no pulling, hopefully. So we want to start out with a regular collar. We are also going to use a backup safety clip. This clips on to your dog's collar. If you have them on a harness or a working collar, you clip it onto that as well. And then if any of your tools fail and they break open or whatever, they get out of them, they're still attached to you. So if you're using a regular collar, I recommend just having two on them. I know that sounds silly, but it's better to be safe than sorry so that if one breaks open or something happens, you're still attached to your dog. And last but not least, you're going to need leashes. I recommend starting out with a 5 to 6 foot long leash. This is a 5 foot long leash. I like this length a lot. And then we may potentially use a longer leash, like a 20 to 30 foot long leash, which you should already have for other training like recall. It's really important that you're very consistent with your wording in this training. So it's very crucial that you watch our earlier video. That's a prerequisite on taking courses about marker words. So you're going to want a command for the heel. So I recommend using heel, whatever word you want to, but it means you're going to start healing now in command. You're going to need yes and no marker words. Yes, you're doing something I want you to. No, I want you to stop doing that and do this instead. And then your release word, meaning you can stop healing now. We're done with the command at this point. Okay, so after watching that intro, do you have any questions so far?
The only thing I'm concerned about is my busy schedule. I don't know if I have enough time to actually complete all the training?
Yeah, so if you walk your dog 30 minutes a day, you'll have enough time to complete this training. You should not have to take any extra time out of your day to do this. Just instead of walking your dog, where your dog is pulling you on leash out in your neighborhood for 30 minutes, just practice inside the house for 5-minute sessions, 4 to 6 times a day, and you'll have the same amount of walking, and you'll have good walking rather than pulling and lunging and barking and stuff.
Okay.
All I want to start with doing is building some engagement and some kind of bond a little bit. I want her to want to work with me versus just have to work for me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put her on a longer leash right now. I'm going to kind of let her explore, and then I'm going to be going to other parts of the room and encouraging her to engage with me more, using, if I need to, leash pressure, or I'm just going to capture when she just naturally engages with me with that yes and rewarding her for doing that. So I'm just going to kind of let her walk around a little bit. When I want her to engage with me, I'll lock in that leash and I will reward her for coming towards me. Good girl. Yes. Nice. Good job. So as you can see there, she kind of naturally chose to engage with me. So I wanted to reward her for making that decision. She's allowed to look throughout as she wants to. And then when I want her to engage with me, I'll lock her in and make her come to me. And you'll see that. So I'm locking her in. Good. Yes. And I'm moving back a little bit. Good. To kind of get some chasing drive going with her. We have a husky here and they love their prey. So if we can kind of crouch down and move, yes, and move backwards, that's going to get that prey drive going a little bit. But look how quickly she's already starting to engage with me more. Yes. Good girl. Good job. And I'm not even saying anything to her. I'm kind of letting her go wherever she wants. If she chooses me, great. If she doesn't, no big deal. Good girl. Yes. So whenever they engage with you, yes. This is a great start. Say yes, and then about half a second to 2 seconds later, give them that treat. Yes. She wants to sit because her owner has just taught her sit for that treat. Most owners do this, so I'm just trying to encourage more movement rather than sitting to get that treat. Because if she only gets that treat in that sit, it's going to be really awkward and clunky when I try to get her to heel for food. She's going to try to sit every time I present that food. See if she naturally engages. More exciting stuff over there. Yes! Good girl. That is what I wanted to see. Yes. And see how I'm moving away from her? That really, that really makes her want to engage with me. Get it, girl. Oh, and there I just get that prey drive going a little bit more by letting her chase her food a little bit. And I'm giving her really small pieces so that I'm not just loading her up too much with food. I don't want her to be full before we're done with training. Good. So I recommend starting with this process until your dog is pretty consistently staying with you before moving on to practicing heeling for the first time. Right now, she's really curious about this place. Like I said, this is her first time here ever. The fact that she's giving me as much as she is pretty impressive. But when you practice this, you're going to practice this first inside your house with no distractions, and your dog is probably going to be more focused on you than she is on me right now. This is about as intense as distractivity can get distractivity? Distractions can get for the first time of doing this, but I'm showing you that you can do it even with, yes! Good girl. Even with her being that distracted, it can happen. So if I can do it here, you can do it inside your house with nothing going on. Yes. Notice that I'm not telling her to H-E-E-L. I don't want to say the word. Yes. Because we have not gotten a really solid version of that yet. So I do not want to say the word until it's perfect. Yes. Yes. Good girl. Yes. So she's starting to really get into that game. So I think I'm going to start moving to the next step now.
What questions do you have for me?
So I was watching the video during the engagement game. You said to have both kibble and high value treats. Which one should I be using during the engagement game?
Yeah, so for the engagement game, since you're practicing inside the house with no distractions around you, your dog should probably be successful with that kibble. If you find that your dog is like extremely unfocused with the kibble, they're not listening at all, then you can try using the high value treats, but because there's nothing going on around you, your dog should be successful with that kibble. And you can walk around like the hallway if you like. You can go anywhere you want.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so at the point that you're getting this much engagement, that's where you would feel pretty confident with moving on to the next step. So to get to this level of engagement where she's like following you around the place and really won't leave your side, how long did you practice this for?
Just did 5-minute sessions 4 or 5 times a day for 2 days.
Okay, awesome.
So the number one thing about starting when practicing that heel command is making sure you're really picky about that positioning. So I recommend starting on one side of your body and sticking to that one side for now. It could be your right or your left, I don't care. We're not entering any obedience competitions, so it does not matter which side of your body your dog walks on. All that matters is that you're consistent at first. So when we have our dog in heel, they need to be right by our leg. They cannot be in front of it, ideally not too far behind it, but they need to be right by our leg. So when I start practicing this, I will be bringing the treat to her mouth at my leg, and I will be just giving her little pieces off of it. These are nice because they break up, hair. These are nice because they break up really easily. Oh, there you go. Really easily, so she can kind of nibble off pieces as we go. And I'm going to magnet feed her with that. So it's going to be right at her nose, and I'm going to just keep rewarding her as she stays by my side. I will start with no movement at first, and then I'm going to add a step and keep rewarding her, and then a step and keep rewarding her, so forth and so on. So let me show you first where you want to start with this. Again, until I get it perfect, I am not going to name it. So I'm not saying anything besides the yes word if she does what I want her to. All right, so starting her by my side. Yes. Yes. I'm going to start moving. Yes. Moving. Yes. 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 Get it, girl. Good. So I rewarded her with a little bit more movement because healing is boring. They don't choose to do that naturally. So I want to make it worth her time by giving her that fun at the end of it. So I'm going to bring her back in position. Yes. When she's in position and starts there, reward. Letting her bite off pieces. Yes. Yes. Good girl. Start that over. Look how much she's focusing on me. Start her back in position. Yes. Yes. Get it, girl. Good girl. Very nice job. Very good girl. So I want to show you guys kind of from the side what that looks like. So you're making sure that you're getting your heel position perfect. So I'm going to bring her here. Yes. This is where I want her to be, head at my leg. Ideally, her shoulder is no more past my leg, and her head is her shoulder can't pass my leg. That is the biggest thing that I want to focus on. Yes. Start walking. Yes. Yes. When she's in position and starts there, reward. Letting her bite off pieces. Yes. Yes. Good girl. Yes. Get it, girl. Good girl.
Okay, so do you have any questions about the magnet feeding step?
The only thing I can think of right now is with feeding, do I have to use the big treat or still can I use kibble?
Yeah, so you can use kibble. With kibble, it's going to be a little different because you can't break off little pieces. So you'll have to have enough kibble in your hand to like tic-tac keep giving her kibble throughout. Okay, so I have a good amount of kibble in my hand. So you're going to have that kibble available where they can like lick at it and nibble at it, and then you're going to kind of pop a piece in, get another piece ready, have them licking at it, nibbling at it, pop that piece in, almost like a tic-tac dispenser. So pop, it's gone, next piece ready, pop, it's gone, pop, it's gone. And this is literally where they're biting at it and licking at it the whole time, and I'm popping it into their mouth. So right there, you brought it up. Magnet feeding is keeping it on that mouth the whole time.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep. That's okay. Mistakes happen. So you're almost saying yes so quietly that I'm not even sure she's hearing you. Remember, the yes is for her, not for you.
Right.
All right. Okay. You are saying like nothing right now.
I think I'm focusing too hard on when to let her nibble and when to release.
Okay, great question. So nibble is that magnet feeding part of it. You say yes and then release the treat.
Okay.
So nibble just keeps her in that position.
Right.
When you say yes, after like half a second to 2 seconds after, release that treat.
Okay. Gotcha.
So you'll guide her into that position. As soon as she's in that position, yes,
Yes.
release.
Yes.
Good. Try not to stop and do it. It's hard to keep it in motion. You're doing like 8 things, but
Good girl. Good girl. Yes.
So if you find that you're consistently dropping those a lot, I would switch to the treat that she can just bite pieces off herself.
Okay.
Because you're luring her out of position when you do that.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So.
Yes.
So one thing you're doing that I'd like you to change, good, that was good, is when you start her in position, reward her for getting into position. Like, say yes the moment she's in the correct position. Because you're starting to walk, she's already in the correct position, and we're not telling her that she's doing the correct thing until we've started walking.
Okay.
So when you get her in the correct position, the moment she's there, yes, reward, start walking, yes, reward, yes, reward, yes, reward. Release. Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Perfect.
Good girl.
Nice. Good. Do that one more time.
Yes. 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 Good girl. Yeah. Good girl. Yes. 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 Good girl.
Nice. This is now after a full day of practicing that. You said you practiced it for
Couple minutes, 3-4 minutes,
mm-hmm.
about 5-6 times.
5-6 times? Okay, perfect. So 5-6 times got her to that level to be ready to move to the next step. So that took about a day.
Yeah.
Yes. 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 Good girl. Yes. 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 Good job, babes. Good girl. Yes. 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 Good girl. Start her over with that. Where you at? Yes. 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 Good job, babes. Good girl.
So after watching the step on rapid rewards, do you have any questions about that step?
Yeah, what's the difference between magnet feeding and rapid reward?
Yeah, so magnet feeding, like you were doing, is where you have the treat at their mouth the entire time, and it should stay at their mouth. Yeah, they're getting treats in between, but they should be literally lured into that position the whole time with the food on their mouth. Rapid reward is where we're going to start bringing it up a little bit away from their face or into our treat pouch and rewarding them for staying in that position, even though we're not keeping the treat at their mouth. So it's the difference between keeping the treat at their mouth and kind of pulsing it to our chest and giving it to them and giving it to them and giving it to them.
Gotcha.
What did you not do there?
Yes.
Yeah. Yep.
Marker.
Marker word is necessary. She didn't know she was in the right position.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, she's more distracted now.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, so she's really struggling with this, which means you are taking too much time in between the rewards to reward her. So let me show you what you should be doing with her. Especially be careful about dropping those treats because that's making her want to
Disengage.
disengage and remove her head from the focused heel. Yes. 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 You see how much more I'm rewarding her?
Okay.
Good.
Yes.
I would have 2 in your hand. She's really disengaging
Yes.
every single time you say yes.
Yes.
Yep.
See.
This is
Yes. Yeah.
see.
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
Nice.
Yes. Yes.
Nice. Much better. Did you notice the difference there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Go get.
Yeah.
Yes. 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 Go get.
Awesome. All right. That's what I'm talking about. That's where I want her to be when you move on to the next step.
Yeah.
Nice job.
All right, so now that they're doing that really consistently, this is where we're going to start naming the command. For me, the command is going to be named heel because I know the command is heel, so it's easy for me to remember that. You can name it whatever you want. Just make sure you're going to be able to remember what you name it so you can say it the exact same, or you can call it the same thing every single time. So when we start naming it, we're gonna, that's my butt. We're gonna do exactly what we just did before, except we're gonna be using more words now. So I'm going to bring her into that position. I will say heel. I will say yes. And then I will start walking with her. I will keep saying yes and rewarding her as she stays in that heel. Then when I'm ready for it to be over, I'm going to say her release word. For her, I'm just gonna use break. And I'm going to throw a treat away from me so she knows that she's done doing it and she's allowed to break. So let me go over that again. Bring her to my side, heel. Good girl. Bring her to my side, heel. I will say yes. I'll start walking. If she stays by my side, yes, reward, yes, reward. And then I will say break and throw the treat away from me. So I'm going to show you what that's going to look like. Don't say anything until you are ready to do it. Heel, yes. Yes. That was my bad. I didn't get a big enough treat out. Yes. And then break, throw that treat. Good job. So that was all on me. I did not get a big enough treat out there, and it was not breaking up very easily. So we kind of lost focus. Let's do that again. Heel. Yes. Reward. Heel. Yes. Break. Good. Good girl. Now I'm going to try to do the same thing with some focus up at me rather than on the food. Heel. Yes. Now I'm bringing it up. Yes. Make sure you're rewarding in that correct position. Yes. Break. Good. We're practicing heel, inside. Yes. Yes. Break. Yes. Good. Good girl. Yes. She's being really good about positioning. Break. Ooh, nice. Heel. Yes. Right in position. Yes. Yes. Adding more time between rewards. Yes. 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 This is a long one, so break. and reward her. That was awesome.
Enjoy.
Okay, so after watching the naming the heel step, do you have any questions about that or need clarification?
It just seems to me like it's very similar to what we were doing in step 3, just adding heel and break, or okay.
Yeah, so it is the exact same thing. The reason why we didn't do it then is because we want it to be perfect before we start naming it.
Got
So we made sure with the step prior that we had a perfect heel position with a little bit of walking. And now that we have that, that's now when we're going to start putting the name to exactly what we're doing. So you're right. It's adding in the heel command and it's adding in the release break command. You use okay, so you'll use okay for that.
So, go ahead. Heel. Yes. 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 Okay.
Nice.
Heel. Yes. Yes. Yes.
Because with you rewarding her here, look where her shoulder is. Heel. Yes. Yes.
Heel. Yes.
Still doing it.
I am.
You're trying to meet her where she is.
Yeah.
Push her back.
Right. Heel.
Nice. Yep.
Yes.
Yeah. Much better positioning. Much, 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 much better positioning.
Heel. Yes. Yes.
Nice.
Okay.
Nice.
Heel. Yes. Yes.
Nice.
Yes. Yes.
Nice.
Yes.
Nice. Break.
Right.
Okay.
Okay. Heel. Yes. 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 Okay.
Nice job.
Good girl.
Good.
Oh, look at that. Happy in the heel. Yes. 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 Okay.
Nice. Beautiful. Beautiful.
Good
Beautiful.
girl.
Beautiful.
Good job. That was a good girl.
Good job.